Good morning. Javier Becerra, Attorney General here in the state of California. We'll be joined today, pleased to be joined today by Sheriff Donnie Youngblood of the Kern County Sheriff's Office and Leticia Perez, the chair of the County Board of Supervisors for Kern County. I want to thank the two of them for being part of today's announcement. Also would like to make sure I recognize members of the team at the Department of Justice who made today's announcement possible. And I'll begin with Nancy Beninati, who is Supervising Deputy Attorney General. Nancy will also be available to answer any questions in the event that there's some detail that it might be best for her to try to address instead of me. Along with Nancy, members of the team, let me start with some of our AGs. Anthony Safarian, who is a Deputy Attorney General. Marisol Leon, Deputy Attorney General. Michael Newman, Senior Assistant Attorney General. Phil Ferrari, Special Assistant to the Attorney General. Joe Brand and Associates, that's a member of the expert team that we utilized. Shubhra Chipuri is another Deputy Attorney General. Tanya Koshi, Deputy Attorney General. Joshua Piovia Scott, Deputy Attorney General. Kendall McElthwaite, Deputy Attorney General. Lisa Ehrlich, Deputy Attorney General. Brian Bilford, Deputy Attorney General. Lillian Marr, former Senior Legal Analyst. Tyler Crabtree, Senior E-Discovery Specialist. Dr. Janie Scott, a Research Analyst. Cristina Gutierrez, Legal Secretary. Leticia Martinez-Carter, Legal Secretary. And Chief of the Division of Law Enforcement here at the Department of Justice, Ed Medrano. I want to say thank you to all of them for the work that they have done in helping us get here. So once again, good morning. I want to start by thanking Kern County Sheriff Donnie Young and Supervisor Leticia Perez, the chairwoman of the Kern County Board of Supervisors, for being part of today. It was their work that helped make today's announcement possible. So a tip I had to the two of them, and they will follow me in the order I just introduced them as well to say some remarks. I also want to take this opportunity to commend the dedicated men and women serving on patrol and at detention facilities for the Kern County Sheriff's Office. Those deputies are and have been and will be instrumental in implementing the work that we're talking about today. We are here to talk about a major settlement and a major settlement agreement, I should say more importantly, because it is an agreement. But more fundamentally, we're here to talk about a good outcome that's the result of collaborative work in pursuit of a shared goal. Today, the County of Kern County Sheriff's Office, and the California Department of Justice have entered into a settlement agreement that brings all of us one step closer to our goal of achieving continued, significant, and lasting improvements in law enforcement practices in Kern County and ultimately the state of California. The settlement with the Sheriff's Office is a critical step in advancing trust and partnership in Kern County. And it builds on the concrete steps that the Sheriff's Office has taken to improve law enforcement practices and to build long-lasting trust with the community it serves. When communities and their leaders speak out, we in law enforcement have an obligation to listen. In this case, community voices were instrumental in helping bring all of us to the table. We thank those civic leaders today for stepping forward and making this possible. This settlement is a result of an investigation by the California Department of Justice that revealed violations of law as alleged in the complaint that we filed, involving issues of the use of excessive force, unreasonable stops, searches, and seizures, meaningful access to service for those with limited English proficiency, and processes involving the receipt and investigation of civilian complaints. The Kern County Sheriff's Office took our concerns seriously and worked with us to formulate a comprehensive plan that will improve policing in Kern County. This settlement is aimed at enhancing the agency's practices to promote public safety, increase transparency and accountability, and improve the Sheriff's Office's relationship with the community. We worked cooperatively to establish a 5-year plan that provides for an extensive range of best practices, which, for example, emphasize that the use of force is not a routine part of policing and make it an affirmative duty for deputies to intervene when in a position to do so, against unnecessary or excessive force by another deputy. Continues on, modify canine-related policies and training, working to ensure canines are deployed in a manner consistent with the find and bark rather than the find and bite approaches, and limiting off-leash canine deployments. We'll also seek to strengthen use of force reporting, developing a policy and process to inform the public about all officer-involved shootings, deaths in custody, or other significant matters. The settlement goes on to try to ensure timely and meaningful access to law enforcement services to all members of the Kern County community, regardless of their ability to speak, read, write, or understand English. And we tried to develop a written recruitment plan, including clear goals, objectives, and action steps for attracting and retaining a quality workforce that reflects the diversity of the Kern County community. And we try to conduct a biannual community survey, seeking in part to measure public satisfaction with policing, attitudes among personnel in the sheriff's office, and quality of deputy citizen encounters. Furthermore, this comprehensive settlement will be overseen by an independent monitor. I'm hopeful that this settlement can serve as a model for the types of best law enforcement practices that can be made here in California and across the country. That is owed in large measure to the cooperation we've gotten from the Sheriff's Office throughout this process, and as a result of the measures they've already been taking on behalf of their residents and in response to our feedback. Measures such as distributing more body-worn cameras, supplying deputies with other new equipment, reforming policies and training, investing in additional technology and infrastructure, undertaking a comprehensive assessment of the operations of its various divisions, providing additional training to deputies, initiating crisis intervention trainings for more of their deputies. That and other things. If these good faith efforts continue, I believe that this settlement will help ensure continued improvements in law enforcement practices in Kern County and its jails. Achieving continued success and significant and lasting improvements in law enforcement practices will require determination and a lot of active engagement with the community to get the job done. But I believe we'll make it happen, and I commend Sheriff Youngblood, the Kern County Sheriff's Office, and the leadership in Kern County for stepping up to the plate in agreeing to these measures. Now, it's time to get the work done and underway. And with that, let me now ask Kern County Sheriff Donnie Youngblood to say some remarks. Sheriff?
Thank you, Attorney General. I appreciate the opportunity to make these comments. To start with, I want to make sure that the public understands that when we met, and to the end, we don't agree on everything that the Attorney General has said. We do not believe, I do not believe that the men and women in this organization have ever violated constitutional rights, have ever used excessive force that we didn't deal with punitively when we found. That just doesn't happen in our organization. With that said, and we disagreed with that. With that said, we realized that when the DOJ came in and we looked at ourselves, we realized that we found deficiencies that they pointed out that they were correct. For example, we had policies that sometimes weren't followed. So we greatly appreciated that, and we asked for this audit from Post some time ago. We now got an audit from the Department of Justice. We realized that going forward, we had two choices. We could go to court and let a jury and a judge decide whether we did anything right, wrong, or indifferent, or we could go to the table with the Department of Justice and make our organization better than what it was before. And so what we chose to do was to partner with the Department of Justice to make us the best agency that we could be. And I think that's where we wound up. At the end of the day, the Kern County Board of Supervisors has agreed to equip every deputy with a body camera. They've agreed to adding 42 new sworn and non-sworn positions to give us better supervision in the outlying areas of an 8,000 square mile county, to give us better management, a night watch commander that we didn't have, These are things that are going to help us become a better agency. We believe that I wouldn't be standing up here saying that we've entered into a stipulated judgment if I didn't believe everything in the stipulated judgment. And we'll provide the media with a copy of that stipulated judgment, and I'm in 100% concurrence with what it says. And it's going to make us a better organization, which is what we want, because we're only here for the public that we serve. And if we ever lose sight of the fact of why we exist, we become something other than a community law enforcement agency. So even though this may have started out a little bit adversarial, it did not end that way. I want to thank the Department of Justice staff that we met with in the last several weeks for their input, their openness. I was very open, and sometimes when I'm open, I'm also a little bit short. And they tolerated me to a degree, but they were very open and honest themselves, which is what we wanted. If we couldn't look each other in the face, and I'll start with Nancy and Tony and Marisol, it's hard to sit face to face and disagree with someone in this type of environment. But we were able to do that. And with the help of County Council and Under Sheriff Doug Yock, who was instrumental in guiding us to this location, we are going to be a better organization. We're going to work with the monitor. I still will run the sheriff's office, but the monitor will give us advice on things that we may need to do to meet the new policing guidelines throughout. I hope that no one in the public takes this to mean that we're going to change our total policing, because we have a very violent community. I don't know, General, if you know, but we have had 135 homicides in Kern County this year. That's an enormous number that is totally unsatisfactory. It's not law enforcement's fault. This is a societal problem that we have to address to fix. We've had 15 officer-involved shootings. It's a new era that we've run into. So this is going to work to our advantage. The body cameras have already paid dividends for the ones that we have. So, General, I know you're off to Washington to a new position, but your staff has been remarkable, as mine has, to keep us focused on where we needed to be and what we really wanted to accomplish, and that was to be the best that we can be. So with that, Leticia Perez, the chairman of the board, I'd like to introduce her.
Attorney General Becerra, I believe in Kern County. I am so grateful to you and your team for engaging Kern County leadership the way that you have. It has been respectful, it has been transparent, and it has been totally hopeful about the next chapter for Kern County. As you know, every generation is different than the last. And as we get older, we see that the younger people coming behind us see the world a little differently than we do. The new chapter of Kern County includes remarkable potential for partnership with the state of California and partnership right here in Kern County with our law enforcement partners. I want to assure you that I have an excellent relationship with law enforcement in Kern, that they are working hard to listen, to be present, and to help us develop this new future for Kern County, which has many, many facets, but certainly public safety is an important one, and one in which we can all lock arms together and agree that we must all do our part in building a safer community, and of course, sitting down and listening to one another. We learn so much when we do that. So from the bottom of my heart, Attorney General Becerra, I want to thank you for loving Kern County. I know you do. I do too. And I appreciate your team and your interest and concern for everybody in Kern. Thank you to County Council, the remarkable team, and my colleagues who really encouraged us all to move towards resolution here. Like you, I believe in Kern County. I believe in our law enforcement team here. I believe in its potential to be better, for all of us to join in this effort to be better at what we do. It is the best of us, it is the future, and I'm looking forward to a brighter 2021. Thank you again, Donnie, God bless you and your team. Attorney Becerra, best of luck to you in your next endeavors. I think this kind of partnership is certainly what many, many Americans would like to see occur as we think differently about the future. and we listen to each other with a new ear and an open heart. So best of luck to you, and thank you for the opportunity to continue to build in Kern County new exciting opportunities. Thank you.